Dripping Springs. It is Ashley Tullis and Amber Pierce, Weekly Drip Season 4, Episode 18. How are you, Amber? Are you staying cool? Because it's hot outside.
Yes and no. I feel like when you get to this time of year, you kind of run from air conditioning to air conditioning. And it's still early. It's still early. It's only going to get hotter. How about you? Are you doing the same thing? Are you doing the AC scurry?
Yes, the AC scurry. And I've been recently informed that when you're really cold in a building and you get in your car and you don't turn it on for a minute and you thaw out, that's called lizarding.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Lizarding. So I'm doing both of those things. Yeah. Yeah, that seems.
But I'm also 100% that mom that some nights when I go home, even if I have like groceries in the car, like a bag of ice or ice cream, whatever, something that could melt, I will 100% just sit in the car for a few minutes before I go inside. Like, it's like a wind down from the day to wind up to go into like family time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So know what you were talking about. It's like the preparing, like the preparation for the shifting of roles from like boss babe to mom,
mega babe, mega babe.
Yeah. And sometimes you gotta like slough off some of the day before you go back into home. Like, I don't want to take that with me. You gotta slough it off.
Yes. I'm sure my family's inside like, what the heck is she doing? Like the dogs are like probably barking or something like, hello. I'm like, not ready yet.
Have you been out there long enough for your husband or children to come out and be like, hey, are you coming in?
I think I've gotten a text message once.
I have been notified that I've been seen several times and like, hey, are you okay? Yes, I'm just not ready for y'all yet.
So you admit what you're doing. You're not like, oh, I had a work call.
I mean, sometimes I have work calls, but other times I'm like, I'm just prepping myself. I need a few minutes. But I'm not, this is really telling about me. I'm kind of tattling on myself. I'm not really tattling, but I'm letting you in on a little secret about me. I am not a morning person at all.
Same.
I don't want to be awake. Whoever woke me up, like, you better just like give me some space. So I do the same thing in the morning. Like I'm awake, but it takes a little while for me to be ready to take on the world. Like I've got to give myself a little pep talk before I get going.
No, that's a big job. Like I believe you're a reader as well, and I love professional development books. But 5 a.m. Club can suck it. Not interested.
I've not read that one. That doesn't sound like my jam. That's probably why I've not read it. I'm like, 5 a.m. Not for me.
Millionaires wake up at 5 a.m. and then they have this like incredible morning routine where they're like, I drink a gallon of water before 8 a.m. I'm exaggerating.
Good for them. They should totally do that. I will not, but they should totally do that.
I'm pumped to like get a prayer in, cup of coffee, like still quiet for just a few minutes before everything erupts. But I think that's just like the season of kind of being a parent at the same time, you know? Like I think it's impossible. And maybe that's why all these people are getting up at 5 a.m. because none of their kids are.
Maybe.
Chewing on that.
Yeah. That gives us something to think about.
Yes. And something to talk about. Because speaking of books, there's bookstore opening in Dripping Springs. Sunday bookstore is where Fresh Native was. So Ranch Road 12. And they open the 22nd, I believe. I think that's which I think is next Thursday. So we'll do a little reminder next week, but I am super duper excited. I've also been like kind of I'm always on a reading kick, but I'm pretty like pumped for what's happening in our community. From what I understand, the library project is going to be full steam ahead. and it's going to be amazing. And I am freaking here for it.
Tell us more. What is the library project?
Well, Dripping Springs is in fact going to get a new library. I can tell you that it's going to be located on the property that's adjoined to the current library. And that's literally all I can say because I didn't sign an NDA, but I was told, don't go telling everybody all these details. And I'm like, fine, I won't make a video. Okay.
So if you're watching this now, this did not happen.
I don't know that I have a big enough following for word to like get back to anyone. But I used to spend my summers reading. I lived in the country. We didn't have cable TV. We had 7 channels. I could tell you that I was up midway through Price is Right in the summer, 10:30 a.m. That was my schedule. Jerry Springer came on in the afternoon. That's not something I hung out to watch. The soap operas would happen. But my dad would come home at lunch, which was high noon, and he worked for the county. He retired as a county commissioner. And so at 1 o'clock, when his lunch break was over, I'd hitch a ride back in town. Like we're in a wagon or something, I'd hitch a ride. And he would drop me off either at the pool, which was $1 to get in. Tom's hot fries out of the vending machine was my favorite snack. They taste great with soggy pool water, making them disintegrate. Or I would run around the square in Burnet, Texas, and I would inevitably always end up at the library, and I'd always participate in like their summer reading program because we didn't have cable TV. So now I know readers are leaders. So here we are.
Readers are leaders. Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped for our little book grow in town. New library, store. I mean, the library is not going to be built like tomorrow or anything, but it's on the horizon, and it's going to happen. Actually, let me back up. Do you know where the first library in Dripping Springs was?
No.
What is now Dripping Springs Middle School. When it was the high school, the library was like, I don't know if it was like the doors like at the mall with the gate that came down. I don't think it was like that, but kind of envision that. Like after a certain time, the school was closed off to the public, but the public could still come into the library space, which is now Dripping Springs Middle School. And then in the late 90s, some folks got together and they built the current library, which I've come to understand at capacity can really only hold 130-ish people. We've got a town. We have a huge town. We need something bigger. And by gosh, we need a bookstore. I'm so excited for next week.
I'm so excited. I don't remember what your name is, gal who's opening the bookstore, but just be ready. We are ready for you.
You know what? Let's see. It's on the 22nd. We're going to have a little weekly drip meetup there.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what we're going to do, folks. And you're seeing this idea happen in action. I don't know when, but it'll be very soon between their opening weekend. I'm going to come up with a fun name, Funky Friday Fun at the
Fresh
door.
Thirsty Thursday.
Ooh.
Books.
I have a sneaking suspicion they're already planning their grand opening. So maybe we just attend that. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. I'm totally in.
Were you a reader when you were a kid?
I was a reader, but I was more one of those little wild babies who, I mean, I guess I'm not too much different now, but I was just always running around barefoot with my hair unbrushed and like going on adventures in the woods by myself. I was that kid, like climbing out of a tree or like where did she even come from? Like, oh, I just like climbed that mountain over there and came back.
I love it.
I've been adventuring all day.
Yes,
I did read as a kid, but I was outside a lot. Where we lived, we were outside of town and the library was really far away, and my mom is in a wheelchair. So while she did drive, she didn't choose to drive. a lot because it was a whole thing. And she would turn the cable off during the summer and kick me out every day. So I took to that. I was all about the outside life, catching lizards with a piece of grass and yeah, all that fun stuff.
So the water hose water was your sports drink.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't allowed inside, but if I went inside, I was told to go back outside. So
totally. Absolutely.
I was not inside very, very much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And it was only in like peak summer that it was better to just be inside because it gets so darn hot around here. And hashtag chiggers.
Oh,
They're horrible.
they're the worst.
They are the worst.
They're worse than mosquitoes.
Agreed.
And I really don't like mosquitoes.
I haven't figured out what good chiggers provide to the ecosystem. Hopefully somebody can help answer that. But
what is the benefit? Like, what do they
on the ark? They shouldn't have been on the ark. Come on, Jesus.
No, what happened? There was someone missed a message or something.
There's a holiday Sunday. Are you celebrating?
I mean, I feel like I should. It's not for me, but I think all of the fathers out there, hint, hint, if any of you don't remember, this Sunday is Father's Day.
Announcement.
What have you got going on for Father's Day?
Well, I cheated. I asked my husband exactly what he wanted to do because my dad's several states away. I'll actually get to go see him next week briefly, so I'm really looking forward to that. So we're all about celebrating John on Sunday, and I said, what do you want to do for Father's Day? And he said, I don't know. I want to do something, but we haven't decided yet. I'm hoping there's a body of water involved because it's definitely summer, but there's a lot of things going on, and I'm looking down because I want to make sure I get this right. 12 Fox has a picnic party from 12 to 8. They are cooking up smoked tenderloin, reverse seared to order, rainbow trout. They'll have a beer pong tournament and discounts for dad.
Whoop, whoop. And then also Suds Monkey from 2 to 5 is doing Lucha Libre wrestling. And I believe it said there's going to be 6 rounds.
Yes.
So that looks like fun. If you don't have plans, there are options for Sunday. But I think you've got it. I think you've got it down, Ashley. Just ask him what he wants because that makes it way easier than trying to guess.
And then if I don't get a response, well, I'll just plan something. Yeah. And life hack, guys, we're giving you some options here. For the Harry Potter fans in your world, on Sunday from 6 to 8, Jester King has a Harry Potter trivia night. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. It will wrap up prior to 9 3/4. Reservations are required, $5 per person, and limit of 6 per table. Did you get
That's awesome. I appreciate that 9 3/4 right there. So, Farmers Market today has officially moved to their new hours, their summer hours. So now instead of having Farmers Market in the dead of the hottest part of the day, it is now moved from, still Wednesday, but now it's from 9 till noon. And I was out there this morning because I got really excited, and it really does make a big difference being out there in the morning instead of the afternoon. We're so lucky that where it's at, like almost always, there's this nice breeze that just comes down and it comes through, and it doesn't make it not hot, but it sure helps. And they are now native root salsa, which is my favorite salsa.
That mango salsa. We were talking about that last time. Oh,
I bought 2 of them again today.
With the spoon. I know what you're up to.
Well, we had a conversation, and I was like, I bought 2 last time, and I didn't quite finish both of them. And she's like, well, you can can it, which I know how to can, so I can can it, or you can freeze it. So, especially for the ones that you really like that are sometimes they just don't always have them, like the mango salsa. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I threw one of them in the freezer when I got home. So I'm going to try that out, and I'll get back to y'all and let you know how that worked out. But also, Native Root Salsa is now serving breakfast tacos at Farmers Market. So no need to worry if you did not eat breakfast prior to going to Farmers Market. If you don't want to have anything like green beans or tomatoes or hummus or any of the other wonderful things, tamales, you can have breakfast tamales. There are also breakfast tacos there now.
I also read that those breakfast tacos do sell out. So get there early.
I was there, I think I got there right about 9:30. So they'd only been open about 30 minutes. And at that point, she said they had already sold like 40 of them.
Whoa.
As in like 30 minutes. Like,
wow.
Dang, you go, girl.
That's awesome. Oh, that's really, really cool. Something else is happening in that area. There's an initiative.
Oh, yes. So also tomorrow, there's a couple of different things that are happening for our teens. And we've already talked about both of these, but I just wanted to like draw a little line between them. So the Dripping Springs Skate Park Initiative is meeting at the Dripping Springs Ranch Park from 5 to 7:30. And you can, I believe you can do any kind of skating, whether it's rollerblading or roller skating or skateboarding or razoring. I don't know. Is it razoring? Did I even say that right?
Scootering?
Scootering. That seems like a weird word.
I don't know if they're real words.
But that is from 5 to 7:30. And conveniently, the tween scene that we also talked about is also at Dripping Springs Ranch Park right afterwards. So if your teens are needing to get out of your house for a little while, whether that's because they want to get out of your house or because you need them to get out of your house, there are 2 back-to-back options for them at Dripping Springs Ranch Park. And that's the Skate Initiative starting at 5 and the tween scene starting at 7.
I was looking at day camp opportunities, and the district still has opportunities available to send your kids to different like classes, like cooking classes. Last week they did like a cupcake wars, and I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. So you can just jump on the district website and kind of scroll through those. I know a lot of mamas are running the vacation Bible school circuit at the moment. Huge fan of that. The Dripping with Kids blog is a really great resource, moms, if you're like, they've got to get out of here, but I don't feel comfortable in 2023 telling them to leave and not come back until dark. 90s moms were different, okay?
It's different. I was just talking about that with my husband because I just finally broke down and bought an outdoor camera for my house because the way my house is set up, like I can't see the yard and I can't see the driveway from anywhere inside of the house. Like the garage is in the way. So I can't keep an eye on my 8-year-old like at all. I'm like, this is really weird because I used to like take off on like giant hour, like I'd be gone all day adventures and it was just different. And I'm like, I just need to be able to like take a peek and make sure he's still where he's supposed to be.
I don't think my parents were monitoring the yard either. Side note, I do have yard cameras. I use it mostly to watch the dogs though. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm mostly up to. But yeah, I don't think 90s parents had yard cameras.
No. I mean, I was definitely not in my yard. I literally would hike probably a good at least 5 miles from my house every day. I was way out in the middle of nowhere. There was nothing out there.
Yeah, I don't know if I went that far. I lived on a dirt road, so I would like take off on my bike, and then there were like tracts of vacant land, and they had like really cool trails that were probably made by like deer. They weren't like people trails or anything, so I'd explore around there. I don't know if I would send my son out to do the same thing. I'd be like, no, you're gonna get shot. This is Texas. Don't do it. Don't trespass. But I had zero qualms about trespassing.
Different times.
There was this really cool
Different
like
types.
caliche pit, not too terribly far from my house. So I used to go on like digs, and you would find like crustacean fossils like everywhere, because Texas used to be at the bottom of the ocean like a bazillion years ago. So in those pits, I would like drag home essentially rocks in my pocket, my treasures that I would find.
Oh, I love pocket treasures. Those are the best. Does Wyatt still bring you pocket treasures?
No, he's not a pocket kid. It is the craziest thing.
Huh.
Like, thank God, because I don't check pockets before I do laundry, much to my husband's dismay. I am confident on that one. But he was never one to like put stuff in his pocket. But I did hear a mom hack for the beach recently, and I love it. When you go to the beach, give your kids a fanny pack so they can put their shells, like your littles, they can put their shells and things they find at the beach in the fanny pack. Because you're there in like swimsuits, right? There's no pockets on those things, but the fanny pack, that's the play.
Right. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's my final tip for today.
The only other thing that I have is, I don't know how many of y'all have drove by the corner of 290 and Nutty Brown, but there's like 10 signs saying that H-E-B is going to be opening on July 5th. So we have an official date, and I feel like it would take a lot to change all of those signs. So I feel pretty confident in that date. There's so many signs. Have you seen them?
I have. And I actually looked over just today, or maybe it was yesterday, and I was like, wow, the views from the gas station are kind of phenomenal.
They're killer views. Oh, yeah. It's gorgeous.
Way to go, my H-E-B, with your gas station views. I also heard a rumor that their plant department is going to be off the chain, and I'm so excited for that.
Yes. So I think you were probably reading the same thing that I was, where somebody was looking for specific plants.
Yes.
And then it was like, hey, H-E-B has the pink princess, philodendron. I got mine from there. So, and I think it was like $25, and they're supposed to be super rare, but like H-E-B's where it's at.
Yes, thank you, my H-E-B. Yeah, I'm pumped for that. It's right around the corner. And then I don't know. So I would say that the H-E-B and Kyle is definitely an H-E-B plus.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear the H-E-B in New Braunfels, like the one near Buc-ee's, is like an H-E-B plus plus. They don't call it that, but I'm wondering.
Super plus?
Yeah, I'm wondering, is this going to be like an H-E-B plus plus? I don't know. I'm excited to see.
I mean, they've got the land. I feel like they can make it a plus plus if they wanted to. We got the gas station.
That's a plus plus activity.
That's a plus. That's a plus plus.
Oh my goodness. What a way to send it out. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again for the Weekly Drip, Season 4, Episode 18. I am Amber Pierce with Coit Cleaning, your cleaning gal. And this is Ashley Tullis, your local realtor. Thank you. Hope you have a beautiful week, and happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there. You are so appreciated. Thank you.
Bye, guys. See y'all next week.